Good morning, everybody. So it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock on a Monday. Turns out today's a holiday, but at the same time, the buses are still going. So, decided to do a little bit of an adventure. I want to go back up. Well, the long and short of it is, I got to go pick up eggs. And instead of just going down and getting eggs and coming back, I decided that I would go up to that cemetery we went for a while ago, because I didn't get everything along the way because I was carrying like 30 pounds. So I figured now that the seasons are changing and I can wear pants comfortably, maybe we'll go check it out. See if anything's too grown in or whatnot. I'm pretty sure I got most of the bulk items, like any TV yokes and easy extension cords, you know. But I'm pretty sure I left a good bit behind at the very top. So, excuse me. So we're gonna go check it out. One, I plan to do this for a long time. Two, I broke into my Halloween money, so figured instead of wasting all my time, I should go and, you know, see about adding at least a little bit to it. So that's the intention. Today is day 3 of the rice diet. And I don't want to say rice is 50% of my total calorie intake, because rice is not very calorie. Well, it is and it isn't. There's not a ton of calories with rice. So, but I've been eating about half a bag of rice every day. So, excuse me. So it's moving right along. Besides rice, I've been eating, oh man, I ate probably a half dozen hard-boiled eggs, 2 chicken thighs, half of a can of pork and beans, a handful of apples, I've been having a cup of black coffee in the morning and a cup of straight tea at nighttime. And I can't say that I'm feeling bad. Yesterday I went and played basketball with my nephew, and I was ever so slightly sore today. And what I did yesterday, it wasn't enough to feel this way. And once again, it's not bad, but it's weird. And I've been going to bed earlier because it's like, I don't know, I feel halfway decent, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, bedtime. So that's something else that's kind of weird. And that could be any number of things, you know. Not drinking energy drinks, you know, just overall consuming less caffeine, overall consuming less calories, because I mean, for my body type, I probably need like 22 to 2,500 calories, and doing this rice thing, even with supplementing it with like apples and hard-boiled eggs and beans and whatever else I supplement with, I mean, we're talking like maybe 2/3 that value. You know, maybe I'm getting like 1,800 calories, maybe. So that could be something. I'm not too concerned yet. I mean, as long as during daylight hours I don't feel like jumping off a cliff, I'll keep on soldiering through. If it gets too bad, I'll just go shove down a couple Hershey bars and be a-okay. I'm just kidding. I actually went and used 2 dozen of eggs, boiling them, and I need to pick up eggs for my eggnog recipe later. So that's kind of the plan. Now, obviously, it's October, so I probably won't do the eggnog for, another month, and by then the rice will be gone. So it doesn't. My diet will be over, and it'll be more of a try not to be a pig rather than, I'm strictly eating rice and low-calorie foods. So eggnog will be a-okay. What else is there? So I was walking back from the basketball court with my cousin, and I was walking by this guy who's some kid I went to school with's uncle. I used to consider him a friend. We don't really talk anymore. Well, like everybody in my life. So that kind of sums up everybody in my life. But he was walking past, and he was talking to some chick on the porch, and I was talking to Curtis about making dinner. My cousin, and she's like, "Oh, I'm coming to your place to get some dinner," and I'm not sure what she was trying to do, because she was like, I don't know, 15 years older than me at least. She didn't look necessarily bad, but the age gap was very apparent. So I don't know if she was like, "Hey, look, there's a nice young man chilling with his son, nephew, brother, cousin. I'm gonna take a stab at it," or was just poking fun. I don't know. And she's like, "What are you making for dinner?" I was like, "Rice." She's like, "Just rice?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing a new diet thing where I'm just eating where the biggest portion of my meals is going to be rice." And she's like, "Well, what about but she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because, I stacked up like 10 pounds of rice in my cupboard." And she said something that I thought was a little strange. She was like, "Yeah, we might need that." So I'm assuming she's talking like something like Great Depression status, where we might need non-perishable foods. I thought that was a little odd, but I didn't question it, because with the state of the world, I don't think I'll ever see it, but I don't think it's outside of the realm of perspective that it would happen to people like me. I don't think who's a movie actor that's kind of important? Brad Pitt? I don't think Brad Pitt will be eating rice unless he chooses to. But people like me might. But like I said, I don't see that happening. And I'm pretty sure that rice probably, I know rice has a ridiculously long shelf life, but it's not indefinite. So I think it's about time. It's been there a while, so I think it's about time to dispose of it. I was considering two things. I was thinking about putting one of the big bags with the newest expiration date back. For one, then I don't have to eat another whole week of rice. And for two, I don't hate rice. So having some put back wouldn't be a horrible thing. And I was also thinking about trying to make my own sushi. Now, reading the recipe, I think there's some things that break this little, break the diet rule. But I mean, as long as I ain't filling them with like nacho cheese, I think it'll be okay. So I was humoring the idea of making sushi one of these days. 'Cause I always wanted to give it a shot. And if I stick to things like fish and vegetables, it won't be that bad. If I go and do something like Philadelphia cream cheese and fake crab meat, that might be a bit, breaking the rules. So I think I'll go and I might give it a shot. We'll see what they sell down at the store. I wanted to go and catch my own catfish and sashimi it, but I'm not sure. Like, I tried to look up what's the risks, and I know obviously you got mercury, and there's mercury and there's parasites that could be a potential problem. But I mean, people eat raw fish all over the place. So I was trying to see what the risk factor is. Like, can you get a parasite from eating raw fish? Yeah, probably. But, what's the likelihood? Can you get mercury poison from eating raw fish? Yeah, no, you can get mercury poison from eating cooked fish. It depends on how it's prepared. Fish typically store mercury in their fat cells. So if you grill them and you let the fat drip off, you minimize any mercury intake. That's a interesting little tidbit of information that I gave you. If you do something like catch a wild fish from a river and you bake it in its own juices, then you might be increasing the mercury intake. But if you grill it and let the fat drip off, you're decreasing the mercury intake. But alright, so now it's a pretty nice straight shot. Easy to talk, easy to walk. So, I'm back. I got my new phone. Set it up a couple days ago. It's alright, except at my place, I haven't seen more than 2 bars of service. So that's maximum. A maximum of 2 bars. Usually it has none. So that's kind of a big downer, but what you gonna do for free, The thing that's bothering me about it, and it's not the free part, it's the part that if you look up the coverage provider and you look up the coverage map, it's completely blacked out. The entire map has coverage, right? Except for some small little spots. You look at the Verizon or AT&T, whatever, free, or T-Mobile. You look at any of those, the coverage map is completely blacked out. No matter where you go, you're going to have service until you buy the phone. So, I'm not talking down on anybody that you're going to give me a free phone. I'm talking down on the companies that provide them. But I guess if they were honest, then less people would buy their phone. So it's and the thing about it is they're not lying, because I get service. It's just so poor that at my house, whether I have a phone or not doesn't make too much of a difference. So that's a bit, it was a bit daunting, but it is what it is. I got a free phone. It mostly gets service. So if when I start applying for jobs, then I should be able to get the calls myself, and that'll be the next step. So I'm following kind of like a base outline, She was like, the government will help you get a car, And I'm like, that's fantastic. That's great. I obviously need freaking help. But if I go and get a car now, I'm not going to be able to do anything with it because I can't pay for gas. I can't pay for insurance. It would basically sit there. And then the one-time help I get for a car is going to sit and rust away until I actually find work. So I'm trying to do this systematically. Here's another thing about how smart I am, First, got my permit. Then, get my license. While this is happening, get a phone. Now that I have a permit and a phone, I'll be getting my license in the end of October, hopefully, or the beginning of November. Granted, I don't run over 6 pedestrians taking the test, but I'm a pretty good driver, so I had lots of practice, so it's not that big of a deal. But it is, there's no real point in doing the government assistance to get a car if I can't pay for anything for the car. If something goes wrong with the car, it's going to sit there and rust away, and then that one-time help is gone. If I sit there, or if I get the car and my there's a hunter's blind, and if I get the car and I don't get a job, I can't pay for the insurance, then that gives them one more reason to, screw me. And I'm not, like I said before, it doesn't seem like they need much of a reason to screw me, in a bad way. So, it wouldn't be, driving without insurance, it wouldn't be the first time. But, I like to cover my bases, because then at least I can say, I did the best I could. Nobody's home. So, that's good and bad. I'm not sure. The problem with walking in places is you never know where you're technically allowed to be. Because, people can just claim huge plots of land and say people ain't allowed on it. And that's just okay. Anyways, yeah, if I don't have a job to pay for the insurance, pay for the gas, the car will just sit there. So, that puts you right back in the same situation of, if I don't do things in the right order, I might as well not do them. The thing that's a real kick in the teeth about all this is that this should have been done 8 years ago, 10 years ago. But without the right help and infrastructure, without the right resources and stability, this is what happens to your life. Or if somebody has a personal vendetta against you for XYZ reason, this is what happens to your life. So any of you privileged rich kids that have everything handed to you, well, you better hope the people handing it out don't give up on you. Because one thing is, when you have everything handed to you, you have less experience. And when you have less experience, you tank a lot easier. So just keep that in mind. We could talk about good old grandma, but I think you guys already get that picture. I think this is another one of those situations where, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. She's saying oh, I'm a man of my word, and woman of her word, and I'm gonna give you the house and stuff, and I'm like, it's obviously not that important, because she's saying she doesn't want to hand it over with the debt. But in reality, the debt is nothing compared to what an actual house costs. And she says she wants to pay it off first before I get it, and that's great. But if she's making absolute minimum payments on 14 grand, it's going to be another 3 years at least. And you know what? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be morbid. She's 80 years old, and if it mattered to her that much, she would realize that 3 years might not be in the cards. I know most people don't like thinking about their own mortality, but it is a part of life. It is a part of life, and if you want something done, I got a new accessory. But it is a part of life, and if you're really honestly thinking about doing it, you should realize what the risks are if you wait. Alright, I gotta go, because I gotta get through that, and that's gonna, holding the camera and getting all this crap off me, it's gonna be a job in itself. Alright, should be pretty clear for a little while. So this hike last time took like 4 to 5 hours. I'm thinking this time it's gonna be like 3 to 4, because I won't be stopping places to rip stuff apart until almost the very end. And I won't be nearly as tired, hypothetically. So I should be able to do this way quicker than last time. I have been wrong before. Now, out of all seriousness, I don't know what time I started at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Yeah, if I'm not headed downtown by like 2, I would be really surprised. So, I don't know if I mentioned all the reasons why I'm doing this rice diet thing. One, I'm tired of the gut building up. That's one thing that's bothering me. 2, is the doctor said the only thing that was wrong with me is that I have like weirdly high cholesterol for being like, my age. So, that this should maybe not take care of it, but reduce it. So, that's another thing. I have another doctor's appointment soon, eventually, and by then all the rice should be gone. So, by then all the rice should be gone. More accessories. But, by then, the rice should be gone. And, if it worked, we'll be able to tell. So, that'll be kind of exciting. And unless there's something actually wrong with me, this should work, because I'm just not eating like any junk. So, and it's way lower in the fat content in my normal diet. So, it should work. The couple of the perks of this diet is, I get hungry quicker, but I can basically eat as much as I want, whenever I want. As long as it's mostly rice-based, because rice is, super low calorie. It's like doing a horse diet, where you eat nothing but apples for like a week. Now, that's not really good for you, because a horse diet is basically crash dieting. Because even if you eat, an apple is basically 90 calories on average. So you'd have to eat like 20 apples a day to get 1,800 calories. So you'd have to eat at least 20 apples to get to where I'm at. And aluminum. I think it could be steel, but nah, it's too light. It's aluminum. I'm not gonna bother. It's like less than 10 cents. Aluminum or stainless steel. That's also less than 10 cents. And it's gonna take up a large portion of my bag space. So we're not gonna do that. I wonder if that was here last time I came through. It probably was. I probably said the same thing. If it's like, in all honesty, even if both those pieces were aluminum, you're talking like maybe 2 pounds, and aluminum's like 50 cents, so it's like $1. And it's light, so that's great, but it takes up a lot of space. 1/4 of that weight in copper would be the same amount of money, and it would be smaller than my fist. Don't quote me, but that's rough estimate. Another thing, I didn't bring all my tools with me today. I figured if I can't unscrew it, smash it, pry it, or clip it, it's not worth taking. So if I find something that's like riveted shut, unless it has a giant motor, it's probably just gonna stay. If I find something that's like bent shut, like how there goes a deer, probably can't see it. But if I find something that's I don't know what they call it, like a crimp it shut, and I can't pry it open in like 5 minutes, it's probably gonna stay. I would really like to get that brass lamp, but I know so much of that is a cement weight in the bottom, and I know there's no way I'm going to get it out, so I'd have to carry it all the way back. So you're talking like a 5-pound item that takes up a lot of room, that's only going to be worth like $1. If I could get it apart, I would probably take it, but there's no way that's going to happen. And I also didn't mention, if it looks like everything's like super grown in like that, I might just cut my losses and head down over the hill. But we're not. I was thinking about doing that when I first saw what the path looked like, but I don't want to give up that easy. But it's still super early in the year, or super early in the fall, so a lot of this stuff isn't knocked down yet. I think I'm gonna go again, because I gotta get through this, and then I gotta get through that. It doesn't look that bad, we can do it. See, that wasn't that bad. In theory, when we come out to the church, that road down there should take us right to town. So In theory. See, was this here? That's aluminum. That's a little bit better because it's thicker stuff, but that's another one of those things that, you know, if I get that desperate for money, then I could come up here and grab all that. But like right now, if all of that got more than $2, I would be extremely shocked. So what we're after, unless somebody else got to it since I've been there, because it's been like 6 months, what we're after should be a lot less weight for a lot more money. We're still probably not talking a lot of money. We're probably talking, I don't remember exactly what all I left behind. It's probably like $5 on average. And I'm not taking into account the prices now, because I'm not taking it in. I'm just going to stockpile it until I get like 50 or 60 pounds and hope the price goes up. Because according to my junkin neighbor, last time I talked to him, prices tanked. So it's not. Collecting it, okay, it's good to have just in case, but I'm not itching to get, you know, super gypped. I'm like, the lowest I ever sold copper for was $1.90 a pound, and that was a really long time ago. With the way things are and inflation and whatnot, like now $3 is like my average. So if it's lower than $2.50, it's not worth it. If it's over $3, over $3.50, turkey feather. If it's over $3.50, then, you know, it's probably a good idea to dump it. All right. Yet again, that's just my opinion. And if I get into a spot where I need cash, like, let's say after I spend this Halloween money, I'm not breaking into my secret savings for anything. I don't care. If I don't have any, then I probably got about $20 worth of copper sitting at the house. So, not that like I said, I'd much rather take it in when I'd get 30 or 40 for it, but, you know, desperate times, desperate measures, and whatnot. Never mind, we're here. That was quick. Now, once again, as much as I would love to sort through this stuff, I will not, because it's not worth going to jail over. So, it's upsetting, because most of this stuff will be another one of those things that will sit here for, you know, 20 years before anybody comes and collects it. I'm going over to where the dining room sitting area is, and I think I'm going to eat a little bit of what I packed for lunch. No, I didn't pack rice, because I'm not a psycho. I packed 2 hard-boiled eggs and 2 apples, so I'll do an apple and a hard-boiled egg, and an apple and a hard-boiled egg. So, there we go. Copper. Somebody angle grinded the aluminum copper bits off. See, that's how you should do it if you want to get maximum value. But those are a giant pain. But that is a clue that somebody was up here scrapping. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a truck. There's a vacuum. With the cord. I can sit and rip that apart while I'm eating lunch. I'm just kidding. Like I said, a couple problems with vacuums is that they're always like, the best part has been aluminum lately. Like all the newer ones. So it takes away like a large portion of the value. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't think there's any people here. Aluminum ladder rung, files. Yeah, somebody was up here doing something. Our next goal will be going up there, but I think I'm gonna sit over here and have a bite to eat. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody here. Alright. Catch you guys eventually. Alright. Back in the woods. I was walking past the old housing unit, right? It's a large African man walked out on his porch with his phone and was staring me down. So, me being me, I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, who are you? Told him my name. It's like, I'm just walking through, man. It'd be real weird if he went and called somebody because I was walking there. Not unheard of, but weird. I ain't too worried about it. They'll never find me, so it's whatever. Not that I'm doing anything wrong anyway, but I highly doubt they're gonna send somebody chasing me through the woods for walking along a fence. People are nuts. I ain't too worried about it. Just something worth mentioning, I think. Shouldn't be too far away from... Oh my god! Spikes. Shouldn't be too far away from where we're headed to. Gotta watch out for those. There's a lot of them up here. Here's some more. Gotta keep that in mind. Don't swing your arms wildly in the forest. Yeah, we shouldn't... More deer. I saw a spike a little earlier. It had two antlers. Two little points. There's a lot. I think I've seen about a dozen hiking up here. I mean, I can't really say how many of them were the same, but I think I've seen about a dozen walking up here. Gotta be getting close. Gotta be getting close. I was right though. This walk took way less time because I wasn't stopping every 20 feet to rip something apart. Which way? I think there's a deer trail this way. Let's take the deer trail. Deers usually know what's going on, so we'll follow them. Is this another spiky tree? It is another spiky tree. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna walk right through it and hope for the best. All right. I got, what do they call that? Thick skin? That's not true. It hurts. I mean, the older you get, a little prick to the skin is like nothing. Like, yeah, it's not something you want to happen, but it just kind of like blends in with life. I hope I didn't get lost. I couldn't have gotten lost. Where I'm going to is like the only place this can go to. Oh no, we're here. Alright. Mission kind of accomplished. I still gotta head up to the cemetery and walk down through. And then head down to buy eggs. But this part of the mission is accomplished. So, I knew there was 2 piles up here. There's one over there, there's one over there. I'm gonna rip them apart. I forgot to bring a bag with me, so I'm just gonna lay loose in my backpack. This is me looking down on this town. It's about as high as you can get now. I know, we've seen that before, but I couldn't resist. Yeah, I don't really... It's a real complicated situation, you know? It's hard to hate when things start finally going your way. But you gotta try hard not to forget all the pain that was caused to get here. How much unnecessary hardships, injuries that was used to, that happened to you. That's why I always think, like, I wonder if I'm getting stuff just so I have something to lose again. That's what makes me think that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe the evil dark shadow of doom finally decided they were bored with me. Well, here we are. So it wasn't a whole ton by any stretch of the imagination, and there's still some I'm leaving behind, but like, I sat here and cleared like 4 circuit boards so I had room in my bag. So a lot of it's pretty lackluster. Some CPU chips, which would have some gold, but I don't really deal with gold. And a couple little bits and bobs of wire, a couple little copper things, but the big loss here would be like, the biggest loss here would be like the, I don't know, 6 pounds of aluminum heat sinks. But like I said before, it's not all that much worth it, to be honest. Wire. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to screw with that too much either. I cleared most of it, but that'll be a nice excuse to come back someday. I mean, not even really. Like, it's more of just, if I decide to come up to the cemetery and I don't feel like just going straight through, and I want to sit and take a lunch break or something, maybe I'll clear off the rest of them, but honestly, I don't think, well, it's definitely not worth it at this point. So, let's talk about perspective. So I said I did a hypothetical before, where I was like, I walked into a place to buy beer, and I was wearing camo pants and had a knife on my hip, and there's a knife on my keychain. So one person can say, you know, I was dressed in camo, buying alcohol with 2 knives on them, and they wouldn't be lying. But in retrospect, you know, I was a guy with a keychain and a small knife just in case, going to take a hike. It just so happened to be wearing camo because my camo pants I don't care too much about. Well, here's another one. Here's another hypothetical for you. All right. So I've done nothing wrong here, but if you old license plate, I'd show you, but it's my state. In one view here, one person can say, oh, I just backpacked and trespassed and stole copper from a power line. And I guess in one perspective, you wouldn't really be wrong. But the truth is, I'm just a guy that took a walk and scrapped out some trash TVs. But it's that matter of perspective, or how a story is told. They always say, like, you know, there's two sides to every story or something. Like when there's a fight, the two people fighting has one side of a story, and the other person fighting has another side of the story, and then there's the truth. And as the truth never changes, that's a fact. The truth never changes. And it's also a very, very rare animal. Like, you can, if two people wreck in an intersection, and one person's like, oh, he was speeding, the other person was like, they didn't stop at the stoplight, and you're like, you can determine to a point what actually happened, but there's no way, without like video proof, there's no way of having the real truth. That's what I mean by the truth itself is a rare animal. So that was a pretty quick journey, even with our electrical stuff. 1:11. What time did I leave? About 11. What was it like? Yeah, it was like right about 11:30. Last time this took about 4 hours. But I stopped at like 10 places scrapping stuff. So it's not that much of a shocker. This time, it took like 2 hours because I was real quick about it. You know, pretty much unscrewed some screws and threw it in my bag. I didn't really, like, there's a lot of stuff in my bag that's like full circuit boards that I have to break down. I got rid of like the really big ones, like the really big circuit boards, like on the spot, so I had room and wasn't carrying a ton of junk weight. There's still a good bit of junk weight, but they probably got about 5 pounds of copper, maybe. Like, after it's all processed down, maybe 2 pounds, 2 to 5 pounds of copper. So, not bad for a nice little day hike, just something to do. And, you know, I've already picked through it once, so that's definitely not too bad. All right, I'll be hitting the main road here soon, and we won't be talking again until next video. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to take the long way around, I think. Got tons of energy left. I think I'm going to take the long way around. Yeah, why not? But, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I'm getting through to somebody. Like I said, I have suspicion that, you know, like, I have suspicions. One may call me paranoid. I say, I've seen some stuff, man. I've been going through some stuff. I have experience. So, it's what they say, like, when you see something, it's hard to unsee it. So, and it's another one of those things where it's like, is knowing actually beneficial, or is it a detriment? Like, would willful ignorance be better than actually knowing? Sometimes it's like, I think willful ignorance is like a sin. Like, I think if you willfully don't know what's going on around you, like, that's like a sin in my opinion. But sometimes knowing what's going on around you and knowing you can't stop it or change it, you know, kind of can hurt your mental fortitude. Alright, I've rambled long enough. Catch you next time.